Hi everybody and welcome to Lou's Colourful Crafts. I'm Louise, I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make some quite simply stunning cards using just white and a touch of silver. And as it says, the word here on the die, celebrate. Now unusually I have chosen to make slightly bigger cards, so these cards are 5 inches by 7. Cut out of our thick card, and what I've done is I've chosen some of our embossing folders, such as the subtle here, which run through the embossing folder, the big one, the big shots, and that creates almost a linen effect, which I think is really lovely. It's not easy to pick up on the video, I get that, but it's just like a linen effect. I've then chosen to use this one, which I think is really pretty. It's quite tricky to pick up, but if I bring in the paper that I've already run through, hopefully you can see the amazing textures on there. Now what I'm going to do is just slowly build up some layers on the front of this card to make a very unusual wedding card. I'm starting with a piece of the DSP from the Whimsy and Wonder. So it's actually a piece of Christmas paper, but I think it's stunning, and that has been cut to just fit neatly like so on the front of the card as the beginning. Now one thing I do is always start, I don't put them straight onto my card, because if it does go wrong I haven't lost that bit. Use the grid, and I've just cut various pieces. Flowers, that's the hand penned, these are from the contour dies, lots of little sparkly flowers punched out using the Flowers of Friendship punches, and I've also got some from the Peaceful Moments and the word celebrate, as you can see. Now one tip, this piece here, which is from the contour dies, has already been run through the subtle die embossing folder. Obviously I've then cut the shape from the contour die, because if I did it any other way you'd lose the effect. Now I am literally simply going to pop that on the top there. I'm going to choose one of the flowers, I'm going to adhere that at the bottom. I'm going to have the word celebrate across there, and I genuinely don't think that card is going to need anything else, so I'll just put all of those pieces over here. Now for the other card I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut a piece of the 3D embossed lace effect to fit. So I'm just going to trim off the straight edge like so. And if you remember, my card was 5 inches, so if I do it to 4.5, it will be just a little bit narrower. And I'm going to keep that piece there because I try and use all my scraps. Now this one, there's the card, if you remember, there's the card base, and definitely has got a right or a wrong. Hopefully you can see, yes, if I get the light on it, there we go, that way, you can see the effect. Now this one I'm going to build up at the bottom. I might put that in the middle, not sure. And this is the beauty of doing these. I'm going to pop that into the middle, I think, and I'm going to see, by adding some more little layers, of which I'm going to stamp some sentiments on, I'm just going to, I'm not sure whether I want the silver, just showing you different effects. That's ordinary vellum that's also been put through the embossing folders, or I might go for this one here. I'm thinking this card actually needs to go that way around, that's what the problem is. Right, that makes more sense. So I'm going to take just some ordinary stays on ink and a block, and I'm going to use a stamp that says congratulations. This is the Peaceful Moments stamp set, which is still available from Stampin' Up. I love this font. Just make sure the blocks dry. I've just washed them. And with the black, I like to add my ink to my stamp. And I'm just going to go, I'm not going to go straight across, I'm going to line myself up. And I'm actually going to deliberately go across. There we go. Congratulations. And I'm now going to start to build this card. So I've turned it through 90 degrees so it's landscape. I don't know why we're all of a wobble here. There we go. And I'm going to pop that one on there in a moment. And I think I'm going to, maybe I'm going to tuck one of those underneath it. I think that's quite pretty, quite effective. And then I'm going to use these little flowers. So first of all, I'm just going to grab some liquid glue. And because this is already raised, I wouldn't personally use dimensionals to lift it anymore, because it's just going to get squashed flat. I'm going to pop that on there. And these are actually being made for somebody for a wedding. So I didn't want to make it too OTT, but I love the effect. Hopefully that's stuck down. No, it hasn't. Let's put a little bit more to the edge. I didn't want it to squidge right out, so let's just get plenty on, and hopefully this time I will be able to, using my grid, to line that up with. There we go. And you just have to just let it stick, just hold it for a moment or three. Don't want to push down too hard, obviously, and deboss it. There we go. And then I'm definitely going to, first of all, I'm going to use this silver piece that's been cut. I'm just going to offset that there, like so, just down on one bottom corner. And I just love playing with all the different wonderful pieces and dies that we're given to play with from the catalogues. I've cut this oval and stamped it with the word congratulations. I'm then going to hold that down, make sure it's all flat. And I've already used the punch to make some little flowers with the Forever Friends die. I'm going to pop that one underneath there first, just to build it up. These, another petal punch, I quite like those as well. These are very simple to use. You just literally punch them out and pop it on like so, and give it a couple of seconds and that will dry. Let's see what else we've got here. So if I pop this one on here first, like so, just adding a few little layers, and another little one. I often don't put any glue actually onto the petals. I just lift them up, because that way you can place it, and I think they look a little more realistic if they're not glued down flat. I'm just having a play here. Pop that one on there. I'm not sure it's actually very clear for you to see what I'm doing, sadly, because of the light, but I can't stop now because I'm recording. So let's get a little bit more glue on there. There we go. In a minute I shall lift the middle of these flowers by just, that's it. Just pop that one down there. And then I'm going to bring in some, I'm using my take a pick tool here, or my pokey. I'm going to lift some of these large pearlescent gems into the middle of my flowers, like so, just to add a little bit to it. And then I'm going to bring in one of the silver gems. Oh, if I can pick him up, and pop that one into the middle of there. And that is all I'm going to do to that card. If I can't, there we go. Hopefully you can see that one. I'll bring it up to the camera slightly. There we go. You can see the different effects, the little flowers, and just, there we go. You can see the embossing folder. Just simply says congratulations. So that was the first card, and then the second card, I'm going to just clear myself a space. I am going to first of all glue on this piece of DSP. This is going to be a portrait card. Oh, I seem to be wearing a sequin. Just ordinary DSP. It's a piece from the Whimsy and Wonder in our latest mini catalogue. It's actually almost holographic, and I've cut this so it's just shy all the way round. Again, use your grid and make sure everything's all straight. Now, because this one is fairly flat, I am going to use some dimensionals. This piece is cut using the contour dies, scalloped contours, and if you haven't seen them, they're in the annual catalogue, and they are quite a very useful selection of dies that will frame or outline any project. Again, it's something I think I'm going to use for quite a while now. I'm just going to line that up and aim for the centre. There we go. So already I've got a stripy piece which is attracting the light, and then I'm going to use the word celebrate. I'm just going to place some glue very carefully on the back of this one, except my glue's decided, there we go, my glue's decided it wasn't going to play ball. It is now. You have to be just gentle. It's very sticky, our Tombow. It will do the job, but if you get too much, you'll end up with it all over the front, which is not what you want when you've got a foil card. And I'm just going to pop that one on there, drop it on, turn it round, and then I'm going to just very gently tap it down. I'm not going to squidge it too hard, it will stick. If I squidge it too hard, as I say, it will lose. You'll end up with glue squeezing out all the way around your letters, which is not what you want. That one just says, as you said, it says celebrate. And then this little die is from the hand penned collection, again from our latest annual catalogue. It is available to purchase. I love these dies. I was a bit not very sure when I first saw them. I've actually used them so many times. It's a very, very useful for all sorts of occasions set. And that's just a little tiny bunch of flowers. Again, I'm just going to, I will have to hold this one down a little bit because I'm going over the edge of the piece that I've just raised. But there we go. And just make sure these are sticking. That's the best thing to do, is to let your Tombow become tacky and then go back and add a little bit more pressure, because it will stick. It just needs you to encourage it. There we go. And I think this one, I think we've got lots of sparkles on here, so I'm going to actually use these. Come in the same set as those. I'll show you the silver ones. These are the silvery ones, and these ones are very effective on something like this where it's already got quite a lot of bling. These are clear, little clear. I'm going to go for, actually they're like teardrops. I'm just going to get a couple of these, and I'm just going to add one or two onto the front of my card. Now this tool is a godsend. If you're not very adept at picking up things and putting them in the right place, you definitely need a take a pick. I'm also going to add a couple of circles, clear gems. If I could pick one up without firing it across the room. There we go. Pop another one on there. And to be honest, I don't think I'm going to add an awful lot more. The only thing I will do on this card is to bring in the same stamp set where I use, it's the Peaceful Moments. It's a really good go-to for really good everyday sentiments. I've already used the congratulations. I'm going to use this one down here on the inside that says wishing you every happiness this special day will bring, because I think that's quite appropriate for a wedding card. There we go, and again I'm going to just use a clear D block. I'm going to bring the Stays On black ink to the ink to the stamp, just because, to make sure it's nice and black. Open it up, use the grid to line it up, and be very brave, and nearly turned it on upside down, and go for it. Holding it flat. There we go. Wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. And I just think that is hopefully just giving you a little bit of a tip and a trick, a bit of inspiration as to how to use our embossing folders and white on white to create some very effective cards for celebration. You could add numbers for a 25 or a diamond or a silver or a birthday, a 50th birthday. You could bring in a little bit of colour. I've just chosen to keep them plain and simple, so I hope you've enjoyed that. As I say, it's embossing folders, punches, dies, and a tiny little bit of stamping there. Thanks for watching. Hope you come again soon.